Hello, YouTube. This is Compound Fracture Builds a Soviet Paradise, otherwise known as Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. Continuing right along, we're almost at harvest time, and we're managing our loans okay. We are building a university, and that is wonderful progress. So let's continue. Our coal mine, meanwhile, is doing very well indeed. And the building's on fire. Building's on fire. Building's on fire. It is the brick factory. It is in range of the firehouse. We have a potential future issue where our firehouse is just out of range of our coal mine. So theoretically, if that coal mine burns down, and it may well happen, we will lose the mine and all of the people working inside of it, which would be a great disaster for our little country. But there's nothing to be done about it outside of building a second fire hall and busing people from the city into the second fire hall, and that is not ideal. So we're waiting on gravel here. Oh, no. Well, it says we're waiting on gravel. Oh, yes, we are. Okay. So gravel and asphalt are having trouble making their way towards the technical university, which makes sense. We have very limited dump trucks at our construction office. And they're also probably bringing asphalt towards this here roadway. It may have been a mistake to start roads at the same time we started the university because they're slightly closer. Actually, on second thought, it isn't a mistake at all. I was forgetting what our plan was. We have a separate array of dump trucks in this construction office, which is only building roads and footpaths. So we don't have to worry about that. But the fact that there's only 2 dump trucks among this construction office is a bit of an issue, honestly. We should probably have an extra one here. Oh well. How's the fire doing? It is slowly being put out. It took the fire trucks a while to get here because of our terrible road infrastructure and because of the fact that our fire hall is quite a ways away. Meanwhile, we won't have bricks available for construction, but I think that's okay. I don't think we need bricks at the moment. No, we're just doing groundwork. Those dump trucks, I tell ya. We will very soon need a new construction office. I don't know if we're quite there yet, but it's certainly coming. Harvest is almost here, and I think it's a decent time to start busing people to the factory again. So let's do that. Let's start one of these 2 buses, and then we'll wait a while and start the other. I'm waiting for the harvesters to come out of the factory anytime now. Our first field is less than 6% remaining on its growing season. So right now we have enough gravel to continue construction. We're waiting on asphalt, which we just got delivered, so that's very nice. According to this, there's no dump trucks at all heading. Oh, here they are. Here are the dumpers. Okay, yeah. So 12 tons of asphalt in that one, and this one's going to load gravel. Probably enough time has passed and we can start the other bus now. We're almost there in this field. Very, very close. Again, if we look at our middle loan, it's between this, and we are more than halfway paid off the one in the middle, so we're okay. I think our debt is slowly shrinking. We'll get it repaid sooner or later. I feel like a broken record here. There's not too many points to cover at the moment. Our construction is going very slowly because of our financial issues. One thing I kind of wish for in this game is that there was an ultra-fast mode, like a fastest, to borrow SimCity's language, normal, fast, and fastest. Maybe a cheetah speed. We'll go way back to the olden days of SimCity. Currently, we are on llama speed. But look at this. In the month of July, despite not exporting any food, we're exporting enough power to more than pay for all of our imports. That's very good news. And it's time to take out another loan. We're paving over here and waiting on... Oh, and paving here as well. That's good. We do need more asphalt in this one. And construction of the university is going quite well. We can probably turn down the max number of workers, which actually probably should have waited for this thing to drop off its load first. But by turning down the max number of workers, that shouldn't cost us any time. Dump trucks are our limiting factor here, not workers. I'm tempted to bite the bullet and start paying for these little fiddly bits to be asphalted. I think I'm going to do that. Why not? These roads are so well traveled. It's a shame to have them all be dirt. Oops, and I meant to hit auto buy before I did that. So we're just going to fund the construction of these just to avoid the most massive pain in the butt in this entire game. These fiddly little road upgrades. That seems good for now. Maybe we'll do this section as well. Okay, and that is absolutely all we're going to let ourselves do for now. We'll turn off the auto build just to make sure we don't screw up later. Wow, that looks sexier already. Look at all those asphalt roads. Oh my. The number of workers in all of these places looks more than enough. Our coal aggregate storage is now almost full, which is good news. I think I might find a dump truck somewhere and start exporting bricks. Only one truck, though. I'm not going to auto-export them. I think that would be a mistake. Instead, I'm going to assign a single dump truck. We don't need as many in our what do you call it, distribution offices we used to, because we're not importing coal anymore. So I'll take, oh no, dump trucks are not the thing that exports, silly me. So instead, let's pull this little switcheroo. We'll take one of these open vehicles out of the construction office and we'll put a dump truck inside, because we've really gotten the feeling lately that we have not nearly enough dump trucks in this construction office to keep up with needs. So we'll take this guy and we'll make a new line for him where he goes from the brick factory to the border. And the opposite of this, we'll load at the brick factory, load bricks, and we will unload at the border. And we'll wait until loaded, of course. Yes, wait until unloaded bricks and start. So we have one vehicle exporting bricks. That'll make us a very, very small amount of money, but every little bit does help after all, because we need a new loan again. Now we are definitely harvesting crops, and that's great to see. The food factory is in full production mode. The 2 buses we have seem to be sufficient to get good number of workers there. We had decided earlier that at 30 to 40 workers in our food factory, that was enough to maintain a steady state through the year. It seems like since we have enough workers to supply all of our factories now, that number is significantly higher, which means that we certainly do not need more buses. So our fields continue to finish growing, and our harvesters that have finished harvesting most of these small fields are now working on a second batch of fields. It's good to see. Meanwhile, our university's coming along very nicely. We're almost at the end of delivering material for groundworks. I'm going to increase the number of workers slightly. So I think we'll be okay now, especially now that we have 3 dump trucks working on this route rather than 2. So that one has asphalt. This one is loading gravel as we speak. And this one will be loading gravel very soon. So where are you right now? Oops. Let's close all of these and follow this guy. He is going to the gravel storage. Yes, he is. Let's look at the brick export, see how that's going. So we have a related vehicle here, just this one. It has 10 tons of bricks, and that will only make 350 rubles. So what we don't want is to put any strain on our coal production in order to supply brick exports, because brick exports are not going to make us much money. I think we have plenty of coal right now, though. We might even consider putting a second dump truck on this route. And meanwhile, our customs house does not have any problems in terms of having too many vehicles coming and going here. Oftentimes that can be a problem later in the, not even later in the game, but sort of a little bit later into the early game when you have a lot of export runs happening as well as a lot of importing, and the border station can clog up. But we're nowhere close to that. It'll get a lot busier once we're exporting food again, which I see we're starting to. This is an export truck. But this is our main money maker. This is the thing that will bring us even. It's the coal plant. The rest of the stuff we're building is more just future infrastructure. We'll make building cheaper in the long run, and it'll keep us going strong. We're almost done the groundwork section. We need one more truck of each of gravel and asphalt. And they are both currently en route. There's the asphalt and there's the gravel. I wish there was a little percentage indicator, something that told us how close it was without having to check it manually, but I see manually that the asphalt is just about to be delivered, and there it is. And the gravel's got to be on its way pretty soon. Let's follow. Oh, here he is right here. Perfect. It looks like our road construction, our manual road construction is finished over here. So let's flag another area. I don't think we need these 2 roads for a little while because we have fast roads going around. So now that we make sure auto build's off, we're just going to hit that one and that one. And those will build just fine. I think we can do the same over here. We will do that span and that span. Okay. Meat delivery has just happened. He's going the long way around, poor guy. And our groundworks is finished, and again, we're waiting. Concrete is going to be our biggest shortfall for this stretch. Well, either that or maybe... So all of this is either concrete mixer required or open... what do you call them? Open hull vehicles. Open hull. So in this construction office, we have 5 open hull vehicles and 3 mixers, I think. Yes, 3 mixers. So that's a pretty good ratio, I think. I think we'll be okay. The open haul trucks are also needed to deliver cranes to the site, but that only happens once. What's on the way? Lots is on the way. Open hall with bricks. Oops, that's the same one. 3 mixers. And then these are in the... this one's going to deliver steel. Oh, let's just get rid of that for now. I'm anxious to see if the cranes make it there. That's the main reason I was looking. We have just 2 cranes. And they are not en route right now because our open haul vehicles are busy hauling materials. I guess that's okay. Once the materials get hauled, we can get the cranes on site. Right now, we're missing bricks. And we're missing money. Borrow. We still look okay. We're more or less treading water at the moment. And that's not a bad spot to be in, considering we are importing a lot of steel right now. Yes. Out of all of our expenses, like, what is that? About 80% of them are steel. Steel is very expensive after all. Come on, little harvesters. Harvest, harvest, harvest! Yay. Coal mine is lacking workers at the moment. That's unfortunate. But our total coal storage does not seem to be suffering much from this lack of workers. Hopefully, the buses will be along shortly. I think this is one of them here. It has 63 workers, and it is going to the coal mine, though it seems to have pulled off to get fuel. Maybe that's the problem. This one has 75 going to the coal mine. This one has 1. They've bunched up again. Over here, we have 46 working, which is about right. And how are our silos doing? This one's empty, and this one is almost empty. Wow. Previous harvests, our food factory was nowhere near keeping up with the input of crops. Whereas right now, we seem to have way too many workers at our factory for the amount of crops we're able to produce. That's a bit of an issue. We should be thinking about that. It might be that we'll want to build a second farm, maybe back here, with a second agro farm building, hauling crops to these same silos. That way we can have the factory going much, much fuller and keep the crops coming in. We could also consider importing from the border, though I'd much rather not do that if I can get away with it. So where are we here? We seem to be going quite smoothly. One of the tower cranes has arrived, so that's a good sign. We have lots of materials in all the different categories at the moment, so I'll bump the workers up by a couple clicks worth. Meanwhile, soon it'll be time to start thinking of winter again, but I think we're doing okay. We might want to buy another couple snowplows, but otherwise I think we're solidly prepared for winter this time, which is a whole lot better than how it used to be. I see our coal ore storage is filling up. That's because our coal mine is now working again with 90 workers. That's good. And we're out of money again. Joy. Both cranes have now been delivered, and construction is going very quickly indeed. I get the feeling that concrete will be our next bottleneck. Maybe bricks. Here comes steel. It's not the most important thing. Here comes concrete. That is the most important thing, so we'll be fine soon. Meanwhile, it looks like this one's going to have the same problem where there's not enough room for a mechanism. We're just going to fund this. Stop it from being too big of an issue for us. We do have a dumper on the way here. But both of the pavers are in use at the moment. That's okay. This paver's now done, and he's going to go back to the construction office very slowly, while holding up all the other vehicles on the road, as he does. Oh no, he's going to the other road. That's very good. That's much better than going all the way back. Good stuff. Now all we need is the rollers to arrive over here, finish the job. The roller is not in the construction office, so he must be... Oh, there he is already. I missed him. So we have some crops waiting in the fields, but that's okay. I know we have plenty of trucks to bring the crops in. I don't think that's going to be any sort of an issue. And again, we're using the crops as fast as we're bringing them in, so we should very, very strongly consider building more farms. And actually, it might be over here that we build them. I like that. Maybe we should think about that sooner rather than later so they're ready for next summer or next spring. So our concrete is not keeping up with our pace of construction now that we have tower cranes. But that's okay. I'll lower the number of workers a little bit and we'll keep going. I think given the way this coal industry is going, it would make sense to build a second dump truck specifically for exporting bricks. So I'm going to do that once we borrow more money to do it. This will pay itself off reasonably fast. It's 8,000 for the dumper, and we only get 400 per load. So it would take 20 loads to do it, but at the same time, we will own the dumper forever. And that's something... Oh, we did not mean to make a dumper. We meant to make a flatbed truck. That was a big mistake. I could either sell it or save it for when we need it elsewhere, which will probably be soon, but I'm just going to sell it. So we just lost 2,500 for no reason at all, which is very, very poor indeed. Let's build an open haul truck instead. That's the proper one to build. We could consider building W50s instead of 706s. They go a bit faster, and they're a bit smaller, and they're a bit cheaper. Let's stick with 706s for now. The T138s are also excellent for exporting, though I like that these can do double duty by also being able to haul equipment on their back. So let's put that on the brick factory line and start it up. We're looking good here. We're still missing 120 tons of concrete, which will eventually make it to site. Let's put some more gravel roads in here just to speed up the process slightly. We'll pay for them because, of course, we don't like building fiddly roads, and gravel roads are very cheap. So let's just do that quickly. And that should be enough. We've almost completely, in fact, we have completely supplied this construction site with steel now. All we actually need to bring is another little tiny bit of bricks, which is done, and the concrete. So the concrete, all we need to make concrete is to import a little bit of cement. We produce our own gravel. And that means the construction costs of this university are essentially completed, which is wonderful. We can start thinking about new construction now. So we can consider a second farm. That might be the next step. I see we've got some rocks in the way here, so that's going to be a bit of a pain in the butt, but otherwise this looks like a good area. We could build a slightly smaller farm, but what's the point in that? Our silos are beginning to fill up a little bit. They now have 120 each, and their max is 720, so they're, you know, somewhere around 1/6 of the way full. In previous years, we have completely filled them up by the end of harvest time, and I doubt that's going to happen this time around, but let's wait and see. I'm not sure if it's necessarily the best use of our money to increase our food production when we already have solid food production. So when we start looking at our next project, we did have a long-term goal of making steel in this area of the map over here, because there's iron in these hills and there's coal over here, if I remember right. And I do not quite remember right. In fact, the iron is in these hills here. That's going to be a very expensive project. We're going to need to rebuild a new set of absolutely everything after having built a big road going down here. So I'm not anxious to start up on it. The other thing we could start up on is a train, which we'll need sooner or later, and trains are very slow to build, so we want to start it soon so that it can slowly build over time. But perhaps the thing we should be thinking about right away is getting a prefab factory up. Finish building our construction industry first, or maybe even a lumber mill. Lumber is so cheap, though. Well, let's look at prefab. Let's look at what that would cost, or cement. You know, if we build cement first, yeah, we'll go from cement into. Okay, so how? First up, where would we do this? We have an output from our gravel line coming this way, so we should be thinking about having. Let's see. Let's just take a step back here. What we'd need is cement, which would need gravel and coal, and prefab, which would need gravel and cement. So I think the way we'd want to do this is to build them both along the gravel chute, and then truck coal over to the cement plant. This is going to be logistically difficult, but not impossible. And I think we'd want to build it over here. Unfortunately, this area will need some flattening. And unfortunately, oh, I had the auto build on. That was a mistake. It was a big mistake. Oh well. So we'll do an average level here and see if we can get it more or less even. And then we'll do a from center level from the even point here. This is going relatively quickly. And we might as well. We don't have much else to do but level, level, level. This feels like the early episodes when all we did was level. It's a big part of the game, this leveling. Now we can go height from center and keep on leveling. It's especially going to take a while in this area because of these rocks. We could consider taking a shortcut where we use buildings to level, because that goes a bit faster. But I think this is going fine. Soon we'll want to go and check on the university and see how it's doing, and see at some point we'll need to turn the staff numbers way down to avoid stealing all of our workers from elsewhere. I kind of wish we'd built a large aggregate storage, or a medium one, I guess it's called, and for the gravel instead of the small one. But that's okay. I do enjoy leveling. Realize our audio's been a bit low this episode so far, so I'm going to turn it up a bit. Is that better or worse? What do you think? Maybe a bit too high? Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's check on the university. That's good progress for now. We're almost completely done here. We're very, very, very close to being done the university. We need 2 more trucks worth of concrete, and that's it. So here come the concrete trucks. These 2 only have 13%. I don't know quite how that happened because we need more than that amount. Maybe we were having worker problems in our concrete plant. I'm not sure. Okay. We're okay here for now, so let's go back to leveling. These rocks always take their time. Never trust rock. Can't even beat paper. Even I can beat paper. I can just tear it in 2, but rock has trouble. It's terrible. I do not mean Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I'm pretty sure Dwayne The Rock Johnson could beat paper anytime he wanted to. His powerful hands. Oh, excuse me. All right, let's start looking at how this is going to end up working. So we want, let's pause the game so we don't accidentally build a thing. We'll do a second conveyor up here, which will take the gravel to the point that we can use it for multiple things, like so. Then we'll connect a road. Like, maybe this way. Okay. Now we need to be thinking about how to build a... the concrete or the cement plant that leads into the prefab plant. So cement is a very large factory. So if we put the prefab kind of in this kind of alignment, maybe. We need some leveling terrain, of course, but, you know, for the sake of argument, say this, something like that will work. Then how big is the prefab? It's much smaller. I think this will be fine. You might need to put it kind of this kind of alignment. Okay, so let's just think about this. We'll first thing we'll want to do is level the terrain over here. Get as much space as possible for the cement plant. Oh, and we should be running the game, and we should also be borrowing the money. Our loans are not doing great. And this university in the short term will not pay dividends. In fact, it'll cost us money because it will employ workers that could otherwise be productive. Oh, but I should be stopping the construction of these things. That was a mistake. Okay, let's continue. All right, where were we? Is this gonna work? Let's just really double check here. Yeah, so this has to come somewhere kind of like this. Kinda. Really? Can't build due to infrastructure. Oh, it's that road, I see. Wow, okay. So we'll use the little cheaty building method of flattening the land and maybe make it slightly faster this way. I think the biggest difference with this kind of flattening and the other one is that this one does not respect rocks and how difficult rocks are to flatten. Okay, so we're almost there. It's too bad that the road comes out at the angle it does. That's not ideal. But just for the sake of argument, let's see how this works. Okay, if that ends up there, and again, we'll make sure at least that we suspend that construction because the roads is connected there. Then what we'll want is to put the... Oh, I don't know if there's enough room. We might not have left enough space in general for this to be a successful plan. No, this really isn't going to work where it is. Oh, no. Okay. What about over here? Well, that's a little bit more promising. Yeah, something like that would work just fine. So the only terrain that seems to need to level is in the front there, the part that we've already brought down. So let's just do a thing where we go average here for a little while. Might as well restart now. Nothing's going to build. So we'll level all of this out a bit. Then we'll switch to the from center. See what we can do here. I think we can make this work. I'm confident in our abilities. And the abilities of our crews, of course. Can't forget about the crews. We're making progress. I can feel it. Soon we will have all of our construction materials made in-house except for those fancy steel and components. Those are the most expensive parts, but oh well. Okay, so let's look again, see how this looks now. Oh, I think we kind of forgot exactly where we were going to put this and leveled the wrong spot, so that's really handy. Shoot, I totally did. I made a mistake there. Okay, let's try this again. Level it like this. We'll bring the stuff that we just lowered back up because we are very efficient that way. We like measuring once and cutting 3, 4, 5 times. People say cut once is better, but I say we want a very, very complicated pattern of cuts. And you cannot achieve complicated patterns by cutting only once. You see? I'm philosophically sound. Let's keep on working. We are going to have to demolish this little road that leads up to the coal mine. We will rebuild it afterwards in a slightly more convenient spot. Okay, let's pause the game so we can do this necessary demolishing and putting in of our cement plant. Oh, that's really nice. Now we can flatten starting here, and that's great. Unfortunately, the conveyor is having trouble. Okay, so how do we do this? I guess we first start by using this to try to level as much as possible. Get as close as possible to the other building. Then we'll start looking at the slope and seeing if there's any way to improve the slope between those two conveyor spots. Because I think that's the trouble, is that it goes down and then back up again. Let's look at this. Oh, it's a big elevation change. That might be a problem. We might not be able to do that. But let's find out. So we'll just level this off so that it's a more level kind of. more level route. Go back to cement plant and see if this works. Is there anywhere we can make it connect? No, there really isn't, is there? Huh. That's too bad. Well, you know what? I think we're just going to have to lower the whole thing. As annoying as that is, since we just raised it a bit. So let's go down here. This is, without a doubt, the most frustrating part of the game is the constant need to level terrain. As much as I joke about it being my favorite part, I do that to try to preserve my own sanity. Sanity is important, and sanity in the context of a Soviet republic is doubly important. Come on, level trucks, level. Do your level best. Haha, do you see what I did there? I thought that was very funny. Might have gone a little too far, but I'm okay with that right now. We'll see how it works. We might need to tweak it the other direction again. So we have now cut at least 3 times. So just 2 more cuts and we should be good. Okay. At least we have this inspiring music to inspire us while we continue to cut the same land over and over again. Cement plant. Why aren't you connecting? Okay. Kind of. But, oh dear. We might need to slightly tweak the position of our other plant here, whatever it's called again. I forget. This is not great. So let's just work that corner down a bit. And this one. With our little tiny tool, which will be a bit easier. Now let's look at how this seems to fit. Okay. The road is slightly in the way. Now it isn't. Kind of wish we'd planned all this infrastructure ahead of time. So let's, oh, I see the mine, or the quarry is very much in the way here. So we'll flatten off like that. Flatten off like that. Oh my god, it's gonna work! Yes! I knew we'd get there eventually. Okay. Now it's time to start worrying about roads. And this one is gonna be very challenging indeed. We might need to lower this terrain a bit to fit the road in. I think that is probably gonna have to, oh, maybe not. Too sharp a turn, we can fix that, can't we? I'm sure we can. So let's just put a little bit of road in there, and then, oh, maybe not, maybe not. Huh. Okay, well, we'll keep trying. If at first you don't succeed, do it 1.5 million times. Okay, that's not gonna work either. So, yeah, let's give up on that. We'll lower this just slightly, give us a bit more space to work with. Then we'll build this first, like so, and see if we can build the chute over top. This probably won't work, but it might. No. Okay, so we'll build the chute again, like so, and then we will see about the road. I swear we'll eventually get there. It's all about persistence, people. All about persistence. We will bend this game to our will. Too sharp a turn. Oh, dear. Okay, how about if we do it like that? Surely that's not too sharp, and it is not too sharp. Perfect. Then we'll connect over here. And then we'll tell the chute thing to build Where is it? My little hotkeys here. I always forget. I set up these hotkeys and then I forget to use them. And really all I use in terms of the hotkeys typically is the roads and pathways, which is still a lot better than nothing. Now we'll reconnect this road that goes to the gravel mine by taking a bit of the long way around here. Okay. I mean, I guess it's not much of a long way, is it? That's fine. And then we'll go up here. Oh, too steep. How did that happen? Oh, we're fine. Game, you give me too many headaches. This, though, certainly is too steep. So let's rethink this road again. Okay, we can lower that a bit. And there we go. One more little stretch. Nope. Okay. We're almost there. I can feel victory approaching. Though it's true that we're not being very careful about making this a very level pathway, so let's be a bit more careful. Let's see if we can make this real nice. Oh, and a truck is using that segment of road. That's very annoying. Okay, it doesn't look great, but it is working. Now, we need to think about a bus stop. That's the last thing we need to think about. So let's lower this train a bit. We want the bus stop to be right in between these two buildings if we can. So let's go bus stop. Okay. Now, if we put in a bus stop here... something like that, give or take. Now we see if we can connect these up. This is too steep and might be too steep all around, but I bet we can figure out a way. Well, that kind of works. I think it is hooked up, even though it looks a little sloppy, but whatever. What in life is ever not a little bit sloppy? Okay. Now, do we have power? I think we do. I think power is probably taken care of. And I think that that's all we really need to worry about. Both are getting concrete and, oh dear, did we not build this track the way we thought it was going to? It looks like we didn't. No! This whole time we thought we were safe because we thought it showed us that this was going to complete, but then it didn't. That's terrible. That is terrible news. Okay. We'll be fine. We can do this. We can make it work. We can make it happen. We are more powerful than this game. We are also more frustrated than this game, but frustration is temporary, power is permanent. At least that's what they tell me. So to accomplish this, I'm going to demolish this little road bit here and this little road bit here. We can make this work, people. Oh, why aren't you working? Okay, let's go slightly higher, slightly higher elevation for this area. Prefab panels factory. There it is. There it is. Okay. I see that that little pathway's in the way. We can demolish that for now. No, not the building. That would have been a disaster. And we'll level this like so. And now we might need to lower the bus stop a bit. But I think it'll be okay. All right. Bus stop path. Oh dear. Please work. Okay. Yeah, the bus stop does need to be a bit slightly lower. We're almost there. I can feel it. We won't have long to wait at this point. This is what happens when you don't plan all of your factories when you plan the initial area. It's always good to have as many plans as possible, as quickly as possible, so you don't get caught trying to squeeze buildings between other buildings. That never ends well. Actually, I'm going to do it a bit different this time. Put the path in here, and then put another path in like so. Then a road, which will work. Okay. Then repair this road, which we destroyed a few minutes ago. That's going to work just fine. Now the last thing is going to be this road. This might be trouble. Oh no. Yeah, we're going to need to lower this land again. We're almost there. We're not going to give up now, that's for sure. So we'll lower this just a little bit. Just a bit, just a bit, just a bit. Make sure that, yeah, that's fine. And then rebuild this. Can we go underneath? Maybe not. Maybe there's just not enough room here because of the... Oh, that's a disaster. Okay, okay. Do we have another plan for this? I'm concerned we might have just... This might just be too short of a span and we won't be able to put the road in anywhere. I think that's what's going to happen. That's really unfortunate. Okay. Wow. This is proving to be much more of a pain in the ass than I had hoped. So we'll deal with that by demolishing this little thing here, and then we'll rebuild this one. Demolish the road too. We'll put it a little bit farther away this time from that building. So more like this. Okay. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get this done. Oh yes, look at that. That's perfect. Okay. Look at that. Okay, is this 100%? I think this is 100%. I think that's everything we need to do. This road looks real wonky over here. Okay, I'm going to be a perfectionist. I should not fix something that isn't broke, but I don't know. Can't abide. The dude cannot abide this particular road. It is way too wonky. So let's see. Oh, I think we'll be fine. Come on. Really? That's way better. Way, way better. Okay. And I think we can hit play now, and I think everything can be built. Oh, these were already building. We'd stopped them earlier, but no longer. Okay, yeah. This is going to take some time. And a lot of money. But that's okay. We finally finished all of our construction stuff. The only piece of construction equipment, the only piece of building materials we won't be producing are lumber, which is super cheap anyway, steel, and components. Unfortunately, building all this construction industry seems to be a losing proposition in the early game. Perhaps in the future, what I should really be doing is moving straight towards more profitable industry. But I think it's kind of fun to build up from scratch like this and import less and less over time instead of more and more. It's the way I see it anyway. It's the spirit of the game, damn it. We are out of money again because we've just imported a ton of steel. How's the university doing? Oh, it's done! And it has no power supply. That's very unfortunate. This power supply is at 84% of its max anyway, so we were going to have to build another one sooner rather than later. So I think what we should do is actually move these high-tension power lines down the highway to the city at this point, even though we have a medium line already running down. I think there's enough room on this side of the road, I think. So let's, if we can run... Can we do this? Oh, yes, we sure can. Okay. We could build the big guys. Might as well build the big boys, eh? Nothing wrong with that. Except for the vast cost of components, of course. So what we'll do is build a high voltage switch right here, because I think we'll need it to go off the other direction later. We want to build our main lines in the high voltage lines now, because I think we do want to future-proof ourselves. We're not quite as poor as we were earlier in the game, though we're close. And then we'll build one of these handy-dandy mod transformers, maybe right here. Okay, so we want construction mod, handy-dandy mod transformer. And there is enough room for it. That's excellent. It'll go right behind the school where all transformers should go. Trust me, children, there's nothing wrong with high-tension power lines. They cannot give you cancer. That is just a tale they tell you in school. Though maybe putting it over here would be slightly better. So let's extend this little gravel road. Oops, the save dialogue just interrupted my flow. Extend it like that, and then we'll put the mod power thingy in. Oops, go to construction, go to mod, this one. Right here. Looks good. Then back to the high tension power lines and... Oh yes, all the way back here, okay. Really? There we go. Okay. It's not super pretty, but I think it'll be effective. Meanwhile, 33,000 rubles worth of construction, so I'm just gonna tell it to build. This is a problem, though. The fact that we don't have a power supply here really is seriously unfortunate. We don't want that many staff anyway. I'm just gonna, like, zero this out for now. Oh, okay. This is just... Things are rotten all over here. I think we have to fund construction on this stuff. I don't think we have a choice about it. And then we'll have to borrow more money again. Oh boy, oh boy. Maybe we should have used smaller power lines for now, but I don't like the idea of having to just rebuild them later, which we certainly would. Now we'll extend this road out. And we'll put the new power thing right here. So, new power thing. Where are you? Right here. So, right, like so. And then a simple little medium voltage wire like so. Fund. And we have power. Now we want some staff, but not too many staff. Something like that. We will be very, very low on professors for quite some time, but we'll get there. Meanwhile, we'll start on this factory, on this flat again. We're building way too many things yet again, like we were earlier, which is really unfortunate, but I'm okay with that. Our kindergarten is completely jammed up full now, so we also need to build a kindergarten, speaking of building way too many things. Eventually we'll want a road, I think, to go through here. So let's go to pathways and we'll just take out this little guy here so we can put a road there instead. And that's okay because there's plenty of pathways into the cinema. I think that's probably fine. Maybe we'll see if we... Oh, no. Oh, no, that was not my intention. Oh, dear. What I meant to do was cancel the pathway. Okay, I'm being all kinds of clumsy at the moment. So we'll rebuild that with rubles, which we hate the idea of. And what we wanted to do is extend this road out here. We'll turn off auto build with rubles, and we'll do it so that our construction office will take care of it. Like... so, give or take. Now we will reconnect this pathway, but this time the pathway will be connected a little bit differently. It'll go over here instead. And that looks good to me. Okay. Back to roads. We will start construction of infrastructure. And the new kindergarten, I think, could go right back here. So let's go to education-related kindergarten. I feel like it might be taking up a bit too much space there, so I'm going to change my mind slightly and put it here instead. We'll hold the control button to not build that road right now. That would be a big mistake to build the road right now. Okay. That kindergarten will be finished quite soon. Meanwhile, I do think we need to spend yet more money in order to relocate some citizens from here over to here, and then bump up the experts a little bit just to get a start on our education, especially since we don't have nearly enough educated workers to fill the university and the school and the hospital. And they're all very necessary. So we'll turn this down slightly for now. This is going to hurt our bottom line in the short term until we can get the initial workers educated in the university, in which case we will never have to import educated workers again. But for now, we don't have nearly enough professors to serve all of our students, and this will be a slow process. And we have dramatically increased our debt load. Oof. More borrowing, more borrowing, more borrowing. It never ends. But it'll end soon. I'm pretty sure it'll end soon. It better end soon. You know what else will end soon? This here episode number... oh, where are we at? We are at 10. This is number 10 is now over of this here YouTube series. So come on back real soon for episode 11. It'll be up before you blink your eyes and before your factory boss tells you to go home for the day. Until then, good night, people.